Americans held hostage, abandoned behind enemy lines. Day 60.
Can you believe it? 60 days since Joe Biden abandoned our fellow citizens, our friends, their families, our allies in the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. And he has not mentioned these hostages held by the Taliban that can't get out in over 40 days. The ones that he said 13 days before he abandoned them that he wouldn't abandon. Now, breaking tonight, we have a Fox News alert. The Biden administration will now reportedly allow certain Afghan citizens, once employed by the brutal terrorist Taliban before 2001, they are now welcome to travel to the United States free of all terror restrictions, even though the Taliban is a terrorist organization. I'm sure that will have no consequences at all, right? Does he not remember 9/11? They were at war with us. We weren't at war with them. Sadly, tonight, Afghanistan is only one of many self-inflicted disasters, all caused by Joe Biden, and all of them preventable. This week, more horrendous economic news, another month of record-setting inflation. We're now at a 30-year inflation high. September now marks the fifth straight month with inflation over 5%. We have a guy on the Atlanta Fed said, no, this is here to stay. This is real. Might go deep into 2022 and further if it's possible. Add to this, America's supply chain is in a complete state of meltdown and chaos. Energy prices are now reaching 10-year highs, again self-inflicted. Staffing shortages, now it's plaguing major industries all across the country. But don't worry, Joe Biden, he says he has it all under control. Now, he wants to increase the bureaucracy and taxes on business. Then he's telling business to come in and bail him out. Pretty interesting dichotomy there. Take a look.
Back in February, I signed a piece of legislation on supply chain, an executive order on supply chains. I'm joined by the executive director of the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, Gene Soroka, and Mario Cordono. I apologize, Mario. And I especially want to thank Joe Porcari. I think Joe's done one heck of a job, my special envoy specifically on ports. The world has changed. Prior to the crisis, we cheered, the focus on lean, efficient supply chains.
Oh, excuse me. I'm acting like Joe. That does not inspire confidence in anybody. He can barely speak at this point. Joe took 0 questions, as per usual, then immediately retired for the day. Yep, you got it. A 3:30 p.m. lid. Per usual, no responsibility for the economic crisis he has caused. His policies have caused, and why would he? This is what Joe Biden himself promised he would do. Remember the Biden-Bernie manifesto? Oh, it was very clear. We outlined it before the election nearly a year ago. This was all by design. Let's take you back in history. Not very long ago, it was 2019. Here's Joe Biden vowing to sacrifice jobs and wreck the oil and gas industry, all in the name of, that's right, climate change. Remember this?
Would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
If we don't stop using fossil fuels,
We're all dead. Doing away with any subsidies for fossil fuels, number one. Number two, holding them liable for what they have done, particularly in those cases where you're underserved neighborhoods and you know the deal, okay? And by the way, when they don't or when they're deliberate, put them in jail. That's what I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. I want to put oil execs in jail. The people, it's the lifeblood of the world's economy. If you find a cheaper, cleaner form of energy, I'm in. I'm all of the above. But until then, oil, gas, and coal, it's the lifeblood of the world's economy. Now, those were among the few promises Joe Biden actually kept. In January, he halted immediately the Keystone XL pipeline, all while giving that hostile actor from that hostile regime, Vladimir Putin of Russia, a brand new pipeline to Western Europe so he can supply the energy to our allies. and Americans got pink slips. He stopped oil and gas exploration in parts of Alaska, like Anwar, other federal lands. Now he's begging OPEC and other foreign countries to produce more oil. By the way, they gave us an answer. No. You should be asking Texas and Oklahoma and North Dakota and Alaska. And then we can get all the energy we want because we have more natural resources than the entire Middle East combined. Oil and gas prices now through the roof, all caused by Joe Biden. Natural gas, well, he's making Vladimir Putin rich again. It's up 112% since January. Oil prices are up a whopping 65%. Heating costs are set to soar just in time for winter. Some families may be paying $1,000 or more extra. That'll be the Joe Biden heating tax. The federal government said it expects American households to see their heating bills jump as high as 54%. Okay, do the math. Gas and diesel prices already at a 10-year high because he artificially reduced the supply in the world. The demand remained constant. And guess what that does to prices? Oh, you don't need an MIT or Harvard business degree. Demand remains constant. You reduce the supply like Joe did. Prices go through the roof. Fossil fuels are the lifeblood of the world's economy. I'm an all-the-above guy. You give me something better and cheaper, I'll take it, but you don't have it yet. Everything you buy, everything that is manufactured, yes, it relies on oil and gas to get it to the store, so you get to pick it off the shelf and go pay for it or check it out yourself. Now, everything you buy is more expensive. To make matters worse, we have a labor shortage now wrecking America's supply chain. And now not only is everything more expensive, but also it might take months to arrive in the mail. In other words, your Christmas presents for your kids, it may not arrive on time or even at all. But according to Jen Psaki, it's not her problem. Circle back on this, Jen. Take a look.
Over time, as the economy is turning back on, we'd see some of these transitory effects. That's what's been predicted. That's what we have been planning for. And of course, next year we expect it to come down.
Can this administration guarantee that holiday packages will arrive on time?
We are not the Postal Service or UPS or FedEx. We cannot guarantee. The American people are, of course, impacted by rising prices of gas in some parts of the country, not all. We all understand the American people are not looking at cost-to-cost comparisons from this year to 2 years ago. They're looking at cost-to-cost comparisons to their checkbooks from 8 months ago or 12 months ago. And even though factually, if you look back to 2 years ago, things may be comparative, that's not how people look at things.
Yes, it is. Gas prices are up everywhere, by the way, Jen. Just do a little reading and research. And I guess you're going to tell those kids, oh, you'll get your Christmas presents next year, the ones Santa didn't leave you this year because they didn't arrive in the mail. Oh, okay. And you're not UPS and you're not FedEx. There is a massive supply chain crisis caused in part because of a lack of workers. And that brings us to Biden's vaccine mandate. And that's only making things worse. Half of Chicago's police force may now soon be forced to go on leave. Now we look at the military. We may lose thousands of our military, brave men and women that are willing to put their lives on the line for our freedoms because of Joe's mandate. Hundreds of airlines employees, they are facing termination. Thousands of teachers. Now get this, we may lose thousands of healthcare workers, including all of those nurses and frontline health workers that in the beginning of COVID, every day they walked into a petri dish to save their fellow Americans' lives. Many of them even got COVID. They have what's called natural immunity. And by the way, the nurses, they dove on COVID grenades every day. And you want to just dismiss them and fire them? Because they're getting fired or will be fired in coming weeks. State employees, federal employees, members of the military, employees at large private corporations all face termination if they don't comply with Biden's vaccine mandate. So, Jen, circle back. Talk to Joe, if he's awake. How is this going to help America's economic recovery? And what about the Democrats' new proposal to empower the IRS? They want to comb through your bank account. They now want to monitor transactions, every one of them over $600. Everything you buy, all the money you transfer, over $600. Democrats want to know about every aspect of your life? You give $600 to your son or daughter, the Democrats need to know about it. You Venmo $600 to a friend, they need to know about it. You buy a chair for $600, the Democrats want the IRS to know all about it. Oh, that's right. They're spending nearly $100 billion for the IRS. Why? So they can figure out a way to tax and squeeze you dry? By the way, welcome to my world. That is the world where you get audited every year, even though you pay all your taxes. And I advise everyone, pay your taxes. It's stupid not to. Green New Deal socialism is not cheap. And so they're looking for new creative ways to pay for this, even though they say it won't cost us a penny. That doesn't make sense either. This will, of course, hurt low and middle-income Americans. They will be hurt the most, just like inflation, just like supply shortages. In Joe Biden's America, the middle class and the poor are paying the price, literally. Joe Biden's radical socialist agenda trumps everything, no pun intended. And the polls now for Joe have never been worse. He has more polls in the 30s than, well, Barack Obama had it this time, or Donald Trump. Joe Biden's valiant protectors, the media mob, are now falling on the sword. They're blaming themselves for Biden's poor performance. Lion Brian, Humpty Dumpty, the whole blue check media mob cult on Twitter. Take a look.
How much should Biden and the people around him be worried about these polling numbers? And here's a free shot. How much of it is the result of really crappy reporting by mainstream news media?
The idea, Biden says every conversation becomes a confrontation. Like, there is some truth to that concern. I'm sure he's watching and getting frustrated by coverage of the D.C. budget battle.
Sure.
There is some truth to that.
There are dead bodies floating in front of my hotel, which wasn't flooded. Okay, we're going to listen to them. So the media mob, they're now saying, we're probably being too hard on Joe, and maybe Nancy Pelosi's right. We got to do a better job of selling Joe's new Green Deal socialism. At least one person on CNN is warning that Joe Biden is leading the Democrats off a political cliff. I don't often agree, but he's right here. Take a look.
I think that right now, the honeymoon's over. There was a moment where it's like Trump's, goodbye Trump, hello vaccines. We're so glad to see you, Joe Biden. The problem is that he put himself in a position where he made big, bold claims about the rest of the agenda. You think this great stuff that we did is good? It's nothing. Wait until this summer when you're going to get all this other stuff. And then he steps on a rake, and then he slips on a banana peel, and then he falls down the stairs with some marbles. Right now, the Democratic Party is looking over the edge of a cliff, and there's a lot of fear and concern. And you're not seeing that strong Joe Biden leadership that I think people were expecting.
I was not expecting it. It's worse than I thought. I knew it was going to be bad. And by the way, why don't we ever remind people, notice fake news, CNN, MSDNC, remember all during the Trump years, they had up how many people had COVID, contracted it, how many people died, how many people were hospitalized. More people died in 2021 from COVID than 2020. Labor Day to Labor Day, 300% increase from election year last year. Why doesn't the media put those little signs on the corner of their, the lists up every day? Because they're biased. Joe Biden is not capable of strong leadership. I don't think he knows what day of the week it is. He's not even really in charge. We all know that. Instead, Biden does the bidding of the radical left, of which he's a part of. They are in charge. And now we are seeing a taste of that Green New Deal socialism firsthand. It is not a pretty picture. Here now with reaction. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.